it's Sierra back from Lady Chubbs Reads. Today is Wednesday, and as the title has already told you, this video is going to be all about Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey of Ginger Reads Lainey. I will link her video as well as the Goodreads group down below. If you haven't already seen the Top 5 Wednesday announcement video from last week, Sam from Thoughts on Tome is going to be the new host of Top 5 Wednesday, so I will be linking her channel as well. This week's Top 5 Wednesday topic is Rainy Day Reads. I'm super excited about this one because I don't know about you, but the best thing ever to do on a rainy day, especially if it's thunderstorming, is read indoors under my blanket where I'm nice and dry, cuddled up with my husband or with my daughter, all on the bed together, and everything's quiet and perfect. I love making a cup of tea for myself, so I'm ready to jump into these books with you guys. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to say is please excuse the condition of some of these books because the thing I love to do the most on rainy days is reread some of my very own classics. So not classics in the general sense, Sierra classics. Things that I read in my childhood that I super enjoyed that I could read in one sitting because they're children's book or middle grade. The first book that I'm going to talk about today is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia series. As you can see, this is quite old and tattered up because it's been read quite a few dozen times. This is a great read for a rainy day because something magical absolutely happens to a regular everyday girl. Someone who's annoying to her older brothers and sisters, somebody who's not getting any attention, and she discovers something absolutely wonderful and it changes her life forever. My second book that I love for a rainy day read is The Bad Beginning. This is also from a series. It's from a series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I don't know if you've ever read any of these. Definitely middle grade. It's like a 12, 13 book series that I read when I was a kid, and it's just what it says, Bad Beginning. Every time you think things are going to get better, they just get worse. But this takes place in the UK. It starts on a very bad day that's overcast when they're at the beach. When it isn't sunny, it's kind of cloudy and all that fun stuff, and it just talks about everything that happens in the life of the three Baudelaire children. So this is definitely a reread for me. Book number 3 is Anne of Green Gables. So again, this is a very loved copy from my childhood. It's got nice little writing inside here. 1998, that's when I read this. 9 years old. Anne of Green Gables is absolutely my favorite book from my entire childhood. I've read this book more times than I can count. I've read the entire series. I purchased them all on ebook as well as have them in the physical copies like this. And I mentioned in my newbie book tag that my best friend from my book club actually bought me a really nice copy for my daughter. I'll show you guys that one too, just so you can see. Isn't it pretty? It's all green and gorgeous and silver, and the pages are silver. Like, come on. You're dying for this copy. Like, look at those photos. So Anne of Green Gables is another story about someone who one day something brand new happened to her and it changed her whole world. But more importantly than changing her world, she changed the lives of Matthew and Marilla Cuthbert as well. So if you've never read Anne of Green Gables, I would encourage you to pick that up. Book number 4 is another book that I read when I was very young. I read this for the first time when I was in 8th grade, which would have made me about 12 or 13. This book is called Tuesdays with Morrie. This book is about an old man, a young man, and life's greatest lesson. This is actually a true story. The author is Mitch Albom. He actually used to be a sports writer, and writing Tuesdays with Morrie, again, changed his life. It's just about the relationship between an old man and a young man and everything that happens in between there and what life is really about. And it makes me cry every time. If you don't want to cry, I probably wouldn't pick this one up, but it's absolutely one of my favorites, and I've read it over and over and over again. And I love picking this up when it's a rainy day or when I know I'll be able to sit down, guzzle this, read it all in one sitting, and just feel so wonderful when it's all over. The last book that I'm going to mention kind of goes in with the theme that I've chosen for this Top 5 Wednesday without even realizing it, but it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Again, another lovely, beat up, very loved copy. Let's see if I wrote in this one. More writing. This is just wonderful. Children should take better care of their books. But Harry Potter is another story about an ordinary or seemingly ordinary person who one day receives a letter in the mail that changes his entire world and how he sees it. This, of course, is another great read. It's not just perfect for a rainy day. I love reading this at Christmas. I used to love reading this when school would start. Harry Potter's birthday is July 31st. Mine is also in July, and I used to love reading these books right at the end of summer, right before school was about to start again. But this is the perfect one to snuggle up on a rainy day, because when his world changes, he's on a little island out in the middle of the sea, and it's thunderstorming and it's raining, and he finally gets a copy of his letter to Hogwarts. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to participate in Top 5 Wednesday. Check out those links below and leave me a comment. Tell me what your top 5 rainy reads would be. Talk to you guys later. Bye.